Struggling for hard drive space? Here are 10 great games you can play in your browser. Sometimes you're not ready to commit to a game. You don't want to spend your money on something new. You don't even want to give up space on your hard drive. Well, the good news is you don't have to. The age of browser games has definitely moved on over the last few years, with Runescape now a download and Flash soon to be unsupported. But there are still a crazy amount of really fun games out there waiting to be played. From intricate platformers to MMORPGs to Battle Royale style fights, whatever kind of game you're after, you'll find something to play. We've even added in a few multiple choices for some entries to give you the best selection. And if you find something you like, make sure to let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos just like this. So these are 10 of the best browser games. You can open a new tab to play right now. It's dangerous opening a list like this with Spelunky. There's a chance you'll click the link in the description, pop in for one game, and the next thing you know, you've watched 332 Logitech G videos on autoplay and it's 4 AM. The original Spelunky, created by developer Derek Yu, is one of the greatest roguelike games of all time. It reinvigorated the bedroom dev scene on PC. And it's a procedurally generated wonder with a savagely sharp difficulty curve that will drag you to the edge of sanity and keep you coming back for more. It's impossible to stop playing when there are caverns to explore and damsels to undistress, or sacrifice to the dark gods. We've all done it. You'll try, you'll fail, you'll shout at your own stupidity, but most of all, you'll keep playing. Wonderpark is the best game of mini golf you'll ever play. The whole thing takes place on one weird and wonderfully put together stage that leaves you wondering what the putt is going to happen next after you land each hole. One moment you'll be clubbing across lily pads on water, the next balancing along bridges towards the gaping mouth of a skull. It's perfectly crafted to join every hole together, with the animation as much of a delight as the golf itself. You might think you can dip in for a quick round, but you'll more likely find yourself finishing the whole thing than going right back to beat your high score and finish a new challenge. Who cares about the real world now? You belong in Wonderpark, where you're just one mouse swing away from achieving all your wildest hopes and dreams. Or just having a fun 10 minutes of golf, however you play. Before Madeline, great name, climbed the mountain in Celeste, our red-haired explorer was challenged with an equally icy obstacle in a smaller, more pixelated version of the main game. Celeste Classic can be found within the full version, but it's also available for free in your browser. There's still a snowy landscape, still special strawberries, and it's still hard to complete. If you have tried your hand at the game before, you'll know that precision movements and quick reflexes are what make it so tough. But at the same time, that's the joy. There's no easy wins, as you practice patience to work out the exact set of moves to get you through each level. It may have been thrown together in a matter of days, but Celeste Classic is a delight to play, and definitely worth an afternoon of glorious frustration. Sort the Court could be described as the poor man's Yes, Your Grace, but that would do it a disservice. It may look simple, it may even feel simple, but the town depends on your royal decisions to thrive, so every decision must be considered, such as feeding the stray cats, always a good financial investment. As with any good kingdom, there are plenty of fantasy creatures and people to deal with, including wizards to gamble on spells with, devils to make deals with, and of course, magical cats. Each time you answer yes or no, you'll be stacking your gold, citizens' happiness, and the lives of your people. Sometimes you can take the high road, keeping people happy with a new tavern, but sometimes you need to gaze into a vampire's crystal ball and hope it lands you with enough gold to pay off your debts. While the art style is simple, it captures the sometimes cute and always fun world perfectly. Plus, the cats are great. Did I mention the cats? RuneScape was the most prolific browser adventure, but while it may have moved on, there are still quests out there waiting for you to solve. Steinworld is a classic RPG with a bustling land of NPCs to chat to, monsters to kill, and skills to learn. You can fill your time collecting berries for villagers, becoming a weaponsmith, or beating up wasps. They're wasps. They deserve it. There's always quests to finish, as villagers seem to have unending needs. So you can traverse the map, keeping busy as you bounce from exclamation mark to exclamation mark. If, however, you want your RPG with a lot more combat, then Browser Quest is the game for you. You'll be bashing rats from the word go, upgrading weapons and armor as you progress, taking on stronger and stronger foes. The world is also peppered with outdated memes, so it's a joy to experience them, like dusting off a long-forgotten tome. Fallen London has all the best bits of immersing yourself in a rich, brooding book, but with the added benefit of being able to shape the story yourself. This literary RPG adventure takes place in an alternate version of Victorian London, pulled underground by malign forces. The city now sits on the edge of the sinister Undersea, an ancient ocean under the world. And it's also close to hell, as in geographically close. Give it the time it deserves, and this deep, dark world is as dense and well-realized as any other universe in gaming, making it one of the most engaging browser titles you're ever likely to find. And it's not just a game you passively experience either. Your character changes as you play, picking up quirks and traits that make them feel like they truly belong to you. You become one of 1,000 permutations of different characters, each with their own quirks, secrets, and favors owed to hell. Wilds is an all-out brawl with other medieval fighters to leave either the last team or last barbarian standing. You can explore the maps in the desert fort, but you'll soon get sucked into the combat, taking down enemies and opposing players. If you want to put your hacking and slashing to the test, you can also join one of the arenas to face off against other fighters in 1v1 or 2v2. There's even a soccer mode where you're partly trying to get the ball into the net and partly trying to take off heads. In most games, you start out with melee weapons, but you can upgrade by picking up new items from around the map or buying in the shop to get hammers, bows, or even magic staffs. But really, you'll just love wailing on others with your axe. There's a little barbarian in all of us. You're not going to make any lifelong friends playing Neptunes Pride. And in fact, any friends you do have might end up setting an alarm for the early hours of the morning just so they can get up and launch a surprise attack to take your least defended stars. Did I say friends? I meant former friends. This ultra-slow strategy title can take weeks, even months to play. And while a game's in progress, you'll find it hard to think of anything else. Your first thought upon waking will be to check in and review how your interstellar conquest is progressing, and to see if your friends have betrayed you. It's also a great place to do your best RP impression of an alien warlord. Madeline, the celestial devourer, lays waste to all before her. She also speaks in the third person. Maybe you don't want a game that consumes your week, but rather a short and sweet experience that's done over a coffee break. Well, both Hidden Cats and Plume and the Forgotten Letter fit that description perfectly. The forgotten letter may be Christmas themed in story, but the art is timeless and makes it worth playing any time of year. After forgetting to send her letter to the jolly man, Plume decides to creep through his workshop and deliver it herself. You'll be ducking and dodging your way through the high-tech security system, which Father Christmas has clearly put most, if not all, his finances into. Can't blame him, little kids seem to be running rampant. Hidden cats, on the other hand, task you with finding stray felines in an abandoned church. You scan the environment and use clues about their personality to help you track down each fluffy friend. Some are sneaky, some bold, but they're all adorable. At least this way, you won't be tempted to take home 20 cats from the shelter, unlike in real life, where I would be claiming at least that many. I don't know if you're sensing a theme here. We've all spent longer than we'd like to admit playing Snake in our past. Fingers jamming buttons on a chunky phone, desperately trying to avoid that ever-growing tail. Well, Slither is like Snake's big brother, the updated version. You start out as barely a worm, floating through the black expanse of the world, gobbling up Christmas lights to grow bigger and bigger. Unlike its old-school inspiration, however, it's brushing past other snakes that transforms you into the glow to be consumed, not your own tail. The longer you get, the easier it is to trap smaller prey and soak up that delicious light. Occasionally, you'll see truly giant snakes slither by, like some ancient Lovecraftian horror where your only means of survival is to run, or try to kill them and devour their sparkles. The wormy worm ecosystem is a brilliantly simple concept that will have you wondering where your entire afternoon went after playing for what felt like a minute. You'll never look at a worm in the same way again. So, those were 10 of the best browser games you can play online. If you have any favourites not mentioned, let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed, hit that like button and subscribe. If you do already subscribe, tap the notification bell so you never miss when another video lands.